what's up guys? Welcome back to my weekly reflection. Last week I traded on Thursday and Friday because I was on vacation until Wednesday. But these days were all winning days in terms of money. I made around $400 on the week, but still they are classed as middays because I just took some stupid early losses before the real move. I see this just as a pattern for the last few weeks and months. I just take stupid setups, wrong decision making because I want to get in a trade or FOMO in. And then when the real move happens, then I make all my money back and more. And so you can imagine when I just cut out those early losses, then these days could be much bigger. And also I'm also just trading on my Finnet account with micro contracts. So as you can see here, I'm just slowly building up the account. It's currently 1K in profit. I need to make one more 200 plus day before I can request my first payout. But you can imagine if I just trade minis instead of micros, and these days can turn from $300 to 3K and $100 to 1K. So the money really doesn't matter. Once it clicks, once you really become consistent, which I'm still just documenting my journey. I'm still not where I want to be because I'm still just taking stupid decisions and doing things a trader should not do. So once I actually become the best trader I can potentially become, then the scaling part is really easy. I just increase my size and the days are just bigger than now. But of course we should not focus on that. We should focus on following the good habits right now. So let's talk about my trades and see what went wrong, what went good. So first on Thursday, this is what the price action looked like and on Thursday on the higher time frame. This is the daily time frame. We had a daily fair value gap right here where we are just hovering around in. So I was kind of bullish just because we had this displacement down for the last the last weeks, and I just expect a little retracement back to these higher time frame gaps. So that was my little higher time frame bias. Going on to Thursday, if you take a look on the 5-minute, 15-minute time frame, and we go on to Thursday, 5 minutes. Let's see. So this box is just a daily fair value gap. Let's remove it from now. My bias was bullish, and I just waited patiently on my hands until I saw a nice setup. So let's talk about this. This is unemployment claims on Thursday. So we basically formed this data low, which is a nice liquidity target. And then after that, we formed micro and 90-minute SMT. So we also swept liquidity. So I was kind of targeting this liquidity pool because it's also a relative equal low with this one. So this was basically the pre-market session on Thursday. If you take a look and you want to see this 90-minute SMT, you can see that right here on ES, higher high, lower high, higher high on NQ, lower high on ES. That was the 90-minute SMT, but also a micro SMT simultaneously. So just don't look at too much about these drawings. Maybe it's a mess for you, but like I just go from like the left drawings to like the most recent. Just follow along with me. So we have this data low formed at the news, 8:30 news. So this becomes a nice, interesting target, right? What do we do then? Around the New York Open, okay, we sweep this low, we form 90-minute SMT and micro SMT while sweeping this high, and we disrespect this fair value gap. I think it was a 50-minute fair value gap. Let me just check. Yeah, we disrespect this 50-minute fair value gap. So now the most obvious draw is this data low, right? So we went below the data low. Still really, I think the only setup, the short I could have taken is in this 5-minute fair value gap after this 90-minute SMT, target this low. But I did not take it. I was just waiting for my bullish narrative to play out because I think the draw on the buy side looked way cleaner. If you take a look at this, this is just really clean buy side liquidity, which we eventually taken out. But I was just waiting for a good setup, so I did not take this short because it was against my narrative for the day. But this could have been a nice short. So let's delete this. The data lows got tapped. Now, what do we do from here? Okay, so this got tapped so this got swept inside of a macro. But what do we do right now? are we going to continue, or are we going to reverse, going to my draw on liquidity, my narrative for the day? And so once I saw that, we're actually just, this is kind of like a V pattern. When I see this, it means, okay, this is just immediately going towards the next draw, because we're not really tapping these fair value gaps and displacing down. We're really just wanting to get up immediately. So then I see that this as like a sweep of liquidity, and now we're going for the buy side. We're still in this daily fair value gap, by the way. So yeah, nice bullish narrative. What am I looking for? 1 minute time frame. Let's see what we got. So this macro just delivered price up, but then the draw on liquidity was still not met. I think this was my draw on liquidity, like this high of all this buy side, this low resistance liquidity. This high was my target, and eventually the 4-hour fair value gap right here. If you take a look, this 4-hour fair value gap was my target. So what was my entry model? If you take a look, I saw this daily SMT first, but it was not really displacing price down on the 15-minute time frame, so I was just neglecting it. But because of this daily SMT and I saw a buy side getting swept, I took some stupid sells right here inside of this fair value gap. And you can imagine, like, I don't talk about why other than this daily fair value, daily SSMT. So that means that it's just a bad setup, right? So I was just foaming in. I thought, okay, we swept buy side, and now we're going lower, but that's not a setup, right? So I waited for a cleaner setup. We had a true session open right here, and whenever I see price stepping below a true session open while having a partial micro SMT, so partial micro SMT is not a micro SMT, it's just like a micro SMT, but it's not the lowest low of the previous quarter, but it's still an SMT, right? So I can use this SMT. We have this SMT. We tap below the true session open. We form like a turtle soup. We clearly sweep this internal low. We still have this draw on liquidity of the day, and I see then price just disrespecting this bearish fair value gap, and then I just enter and I target this high. I take it out right here. And then the other part, I take it out at the hour for fair value gap. So this was a really nice setup, also beautifully respecting the 50-minute bullish fair value gap from like the pre-market. So you can still like extend this. You see it works beautifully because we didn't really have a gap right here. So on the 50-minute time frame, this looks like this, right? You have this gap extended, it got tapped right here. So I think this was a really clean setup. Not really A+, I think. But the draw on liquidity was really clear to the upside right here. We just tapped below the true session open. I have this bullish narrative. We have an SMT. We disrespect this minute one fair value gap. We are inside of the macro, which is also really important. The last macro of AM session, which is from 11:45 to 12:15. And yeah, I just get out quickly. You see, after the 4-hour fair value gap is hit, we just consolidate and then we just go down again. So I think this was a beautiful read on Thursday. Nice setup. I just should not have taken the early stupid shorts without a clean setup right here, just because we swept buy side and we had the potential daily SMT. But because the daily SMT did not really displace price, and we just did a turtle soup below true session open, we disrespect this fair value gap. You see there's more context on the bullish side. So yeah, that was Monday's price action. So ended up making $300, but like I lost $200 from these early shorts, so it could have been like $500, but it doesn't matter. But I should just take note of only playing the good setups. So then we're going to Friday. On Friday we also had news. I think it was at 8:30 as well, can't really remember, but the pre-market, which is like 8:30, around 8:30, it made a daily SMT. So you can already imagine ES did not sweep the high, or did not close a candle above the previous quarter's highest close. So I'm not going to point it out again. People who watch my videos, they know how I trade, I think. But there was a daily SMT in pre-market. So how can you take in a trade then? I'm not just trading the daily SMT if it's not like in a fair value gap or something. So I'm waiting for another cracking correlation, another SMT. And so if you go on the minute 1 time frame, after this daily SMT, we formed micro SMT here just before the New York Stock Exchange open, 9:30 right here, you can see. So this could have been an entry in this fair value gap after we have this micro SMT with this daily SMT, and just take your profits right here at the equilibrium of this range, just somewhere where it's a nice risk to reward and where you expect price to reverse. Now, after this, what happened is we formed a daily opposing SMT, so that means that this can be deleted. We tap inside of discount of the range, we sweep this low, but I did not see all of this. I was still forcing shorts because of this initial bearish bias, and also we had the 90-minute SMT right here after we dropped off, so still I had a bearish bias. This could have been a short after this 90-minute SMT and a minute 5 precision swing point, but then you should have taken it out at the low, right? There's no way, no reason to go towards this low if there is a daily opposing SSMT forming right here. So stupid mistakes here. I should have taken it out right here. I did not do that, so break even, and here I took a loss because I was still looking at this as like a stop rate in premium to then go lower. But again, I mentioned I did not see this daily SMT, and whenever we then have a 90-minute SMT as well, let's just delete these things. Now it's looking like a great setup, right? Because this daily SMT, it removes this bearish daily SMT. Now we're bullish. This was a lot of chop, so I don't really, I mean, I blame myself for just not recognizing this chop, but it was just bad price action. But then when price was finally ready, when price and time meet, is when we have this second crack inside of discount. We have this 90-minute SMT supporting this daily. After that happened, I can maybe point it out because otherwise you guys don't really know what I'm talking about maybe. So here is NQ, here is ES. I'm not sure if it was between the Dow, but let's take a look. Oh, you can see it here clearly between ES, right? So this was London low on NQ, London low on ES. Did not take it out on ES, did take it out on NQ. So that was a daily SMT, and then we also formed here, you can see swept the low on NQ, did not do that on ES. So that was a really nice setup in my opinion, but like there's a lot of chop. You should recognize this chop. I got chopped up right here, taking early shorts, just chasing the shorts because of the sweep right here. I was just maintaining a bearish bias, but until then I then saw this and this SMT, and I see that we're just constantly sweeping lows. And now where are we? We are almost at the end of the New York session, so a lot of people got chopped up. But then on the 5-minute time frame, how can you recognize this chop? You see there's no real displacement, there's no real narrative here for the whole New York session until this minute 5 opened up. And I knew, okay, because this minute 5 fair value gap opened up after this daily SMT and 90-minute SMT, I knew, okay, this is where price is going to react off and go towards the highs. And this is what happened. So this is when you know, okay, you really can time and price. You really know when it's finally time to trade, even though I took some early stupid losses because I did not recognize market conditions. But you can see, like, why does this bearish fair value gap is not the real fair value gap that's going to push price lower? Is because there's no SMT here. There is a daily bullish forming, so you should not look at the bearish setups. You should, like, fair value gap, it doesn't have any meaning if there's no context. And here we have a bullish context, so I'm waiting for a bullish minute 5 fair value gap to open up. This is finally when it happened. We tap below the true day open. We sweep the low, daily SMT, 90-minute SMT. We are in OTE of this whole range. I have the bullish bias still, because we are still inside this daily fair value gap. We have all this context. Still, look at the 1 hour time frame. This is also a nice confluence. we're just respecting this 1 hour fair value gap right here. You see all these wicks, they close inside of this 1 hour fair value gap. So this is when I really look at longs. So let's just delete this fair value gap. And I see this as a market maker model right now, with these being the targets right here. So I took this really nice trade then after we retraced into this minute 5 fair value gap, somewhere right here. We then have an SMT, another SMT, and then what was my entry model? Let me see. Yeah, I just entered and put my stop below the minute 5 fair value gap low. Maybe a better entry was after this fair value gap got ran through right here. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of similar entry. Your take profit should be right here. Maybe take something out right here. But I think this was a really clean setup as well. Not really A+ because of these choppy market conditions. But this is just a time that tests us. Like, you should wait for the setup to be dump clear. Whenever it's like September, October, or like a good season to trade, not December, January, then you won't see all this chop. It will be just clear sweep inside of this 1 hour fair value gap, SSMT, and tap below the true session open, and it goes immediately. But here is just when the market tests us and only let the good traders take the money. So yeah. Still got this trade. I'm really happy, but I should not have taken some stupid losses right here, trying to short when we are for clear bullish context. So yeah, that was my week. I'm just gonna keep going. Today is Monday. It's almost August. It's the 29th. I'm excited. I'm not really sure if August is gonna be a good month, but I'm gonna trade tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday I'm going to Spain to visit my nephew, and maybe I'm gonna do a vlog. I don't know. I'm also gonna be maybe trading right there. So yeah, let's see. Let's just continue the journey, right? It's boring. Like, these videos are always the same. I'm having different setups, of course, but like, it's always reflecting. It's just focusing on good habits. It's focusing on only taking the good trades. This is boring, but we should keep going, because this is how you become a good trader. You just focus on repetition, repetition, repetition. You keep showing up. You keep doing the same thing, analyzing stuff, learning from your mistakes. And at the end, it will be overnight success, right? So let's just keep going. I don't care if it's going to take me another 2, 3 years, 5 years. I'm going to get there. So I hope this serves as a motivation to you also. And let's see what this week will bring from price action. It's going to be a very volatile week. So I'm excited. I hope there's some nice A+ setups. Stay locked in. It's summer, but this is a time to grind. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.